Hello there, Vibe. Hope you're doing alright. Oh boy. Project unknown. Battery's jacked. Looks like it's a replacement, but it's still jacked up. A laptop, and Daniel. Don't worry, this camera angle is not going to last for long. I just had to shift everything so I could fit some new servers in here. So the camera had to take a hike, but yeah, I don't like where it is. But I haven't got a bracket for it yet. Okay, so we got a little bit of wiggling going on here. 30, 20, 30, 20, 2 volt, 5.2. Yeah, not sure what we're going to be dealing with here. Clearly it's not booting up, it's not taking 20 volts, so we'll start from there. So I'll keep looking over there rather than up here. We'll start from there and have a look. Yeah, I think I'm going to get it back down where it was before, but I'm going to have to use a 2-inch holding bracket for the camera. I don't have one of those. The one that I normally use, they're only about 1 inch or 1.5 inch holding diameter. It's not enough. Hey GD. Hey there, no money. That's pretty much says everything, doesn't it? Hey Ed. Ron from Missouri. Andrew. Yeah, we've got some of the old crew around, eh? It's probably because I'm working late rather than the middle of the day stuff. I'll just start to get used to looking up to talk to you, and then I'll change it back down. You know that's how it's going to work. Okay, that's trapped under there, so no big drama. I'm just going to focus on the chat. What I really need is like have a magical camera that's in the screen looking back out at me. It's probably not a good idea. Let's see, okay, we don't seem to have any data job up here. Nope, that is liquid generation. No, that's definitely the wrong one. Try this one. Beep. And Mr. Blood, Tom, John. So what are we looking for? Well, it looks like someone's already had a shot at this. Looks like they've done the classic sort of thing, which is good. So obviously there was it right off the top, straight away. I'm pretty sure I can see a missing part there. So let's have a look. Ooh, that's dark. Maybe because I haven't got the camera turned, the light on. There we go. But damn, she's on and she's bright. The other problem can be, okay, based on the corrosion I've already just seen here, I wouldn't be surprised if this is also going to suffer a drive not present issue. Okay, I was wrong about the part missing. That was that there. I wonder if when they took this out, they ripped up the pad, because there's a bit of solder hanging off the side there, so it kind of makes me think the pad might have gone missing. And I think the real problem is going to be that this is it underfilled? Okay, it hasn't been shifted. Wouldn't be surprised if during this process maybe the chips got upset because they are underfilled and now it's not so crash hot. Let's have a look at other areas. Geez, we've got a heap of balls squeezing out there. That's not a good sign. And yeah, this is being washed down, so that I'm going to guess there was a bunch of corrosion on the board, and they've pulled out the old alcohol and toothbrush technique. But the trouble is, alcohol and toothbrush is great for localized areas, but for the whole board, it's a bit of a, it like leaves an oil slick type effect. Hey, nuts and proud. Getting this cap out can be a bit tricky, so yeah, we sort of do have to do this. Okay, I can see some squeezage just here, so I'm worried that this CD3215 might actually not be so crash hot, which is going to be fun because I'll have to do both of them, and they're on the field, so ugh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this one's a little rough. Let's do some continuity measures. It's fun. Just checking that my continuity works. Hey, nuts and proud. You got 3 rescue kittens, a girl, cat, surrogate mother. Oh, okay. That's kind of neat when you can do that sort of thing. We unfortunately have acquired another... Well, we've finally acquired the mother of all those kittens we had over Christmas, and unfortunately she's ready to drop another load of kittens. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get her into a situation where we could care for her quick enough. So, we're going to have a nasty repeat. And yeah, we are not equipped to deal with this properly, but we really don't have a choice. If we don't deal with it now, then it's going to be the same story in another 2 or 3, another 3 months really. So we sort of completely put the cart in front of the horse in this situation. Like I said, I'm not happy about it, but at the same time I'm going to be less happy about her going through a third lot of kittens, which is inevitable if we don't get her desexed. So basically we're taking street kitties and desexing them. Okay, we've got a nice short there, have we? Or was it just... Oh no, it was just residual. Pedro, yeah, you're more of a baboon. If only things were as easy to solve as your problems. Okay. Yeah, I'm sort of thinking that CD3215. 3 weeks old, still blind. They get fun after that, don't they? Oh wow, they can give cats a shot to make them lactate? Okay, that's something I didn't know. Interesting. Interesting stuff. That's handy. A little bit rough for the poor mother, I suppose. She's like, what the hell? What am I doing lactating again? But I guess sometimes, yeah, if the situation warrants it. Needless to say, we're quite fatigued by all this, and yeah, we're having to spend money in an inefficient manner, which is something I really don't like. We did put an approval in today for getting the fence done, which will cover a small area of our property, and that's going to be $15,000. But we need it. We so desperately need that fence. I mean, there already is a fence there, but we need a better fence, because the fence we have at the moment will not stop things like kittens getting out. So we need a better fence. Mother cat is 18 months old. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Post-pregnancy hormone, that's still crazy. A3X. What is this? 1706. On the left. Ah, no, that's the right. Back. Go back. Wait, what? Brain not operational. Yeah, with some of the early ones that we had, like many years ago, it was we had a stuff called Biolac, which was sort of a, yeah, not, I don't like to say artificial, but it was something you mix up for them. And they're pretty happy with that. Funnily enough, you can use it on marsupials too, apparently. That's fine. Hey, Jim Allen. Taxes. Yeah, I've got to do my taxes. My my quarterly taxes. They're not that bad to do. It's just more of a summary of what you have. It's just a summary, but you still got to put it in. And they still charge you, of course. I'll have to put in $4,000 or something. Yeah, nuts and problems. That's good of you to do that. It's sort of the same thing what we're doing. The vets here, they don't want to have to do that sort of stuff, but they sort of get their hands tied. So, if no one can look after them, then there really isn't any other option. And so it's kind of cruel that vets grow, they enter their career thinking that they're going to help animals and stuff like that. But sadly, for a great portion of it, they actually have to do the very thing they don't want to do, and that is to put an end to their lives. B Blood, it's the quarterly tax payment is based sort of like on what they're expecting you have to pay for income tax come the end of the year, and they like to do it this way so that when it comes to the end of the financial year, you don't get, say, in my case, like a $20,000 tax bill. And most people don't generally have, or people like myself don't generally have 20,000 sitting in the savings account at the time, because there's a tendency for people, morons you might call them, like me, to nibble on that money a little bit, thinking, I'll get this back soon enough, don't worry. And then you never do. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's why they make us pay quarterly. And it is a good thing. And if you do overpay, you get it back. 100k round trip, that's a big trip now. Hey there, Jason. This is one of your 1706s. This is the stock one. And I'm trying to deduce what's happened. The fact that it's underfilled gives me a bit of a concern. I have a feeling that the chips have actually, they probably will just need to be taken off and replaced. Hey Pedro, yeah, it's a very high stress job. Like, because so much of it conflicts with the very thing you want it to be. Anyway. And I mean, I think vets have the highest suicide rate around, and I'm not surprised. And it's sad, but it's one of those horrible realities. Yeah, because I'm sure they go in at the start thinking, I can save so many, and in the end it's like, I've got to kill so many. It's bloody brutal. So yeah, be nice to vets if you can, please. Their life is quite a lot more difficult than we would ever like. I don't think we really need to worry about what the fault is on this at this point, because we pretty much know it's not getting 20 volts. But I've got to work out whether we have a situation where the chip needs replacing as well, in which case the bottom one will also need replacing, or whether it's just a problem with, you know, maybe not everything's making contact properly here. I think I'm going to have to clear out some more of this underfill. Nuts and proud, that's really brutal that that's happened, and unfortunately it's sort of, I had to say, kind of went that way a little bit for us as well. I think, yeah, many years ago I had a very ferocious very ferocious tabby cat. His name was Jinx. And if you know what sort of Jinx, the word Jinx is used for, it was interesting because I named the cat before I met the cat. I just knew, you know, we just knew, okay, we're going to go find ourselves a cat. As in, you know, get one from the wherever. And I already pre-decided I'm going to call it Jinx. And when we got it, we found out that its birthday was the same as my birthday. And that's the sort of thing where if you're having a discussion with someone and you both find out something the same, you go Jinx, and lo and behold, that's how you got his. So it was very interesting that it happened in that order. Needless to say, getting back to the point, he was unfortunately run over as well, and I got to say that's taken me a bloody long time to, I wouldn't say come to terms with, but I should say to manage. And as a consequence from that, we started doing a lot more rescues. I mean, we already had one rescue, and soon after, I think it was about 3 weeks after we lost Jinx, Micro turned up at the local clinic. And so, yeah, that's how we got Micro. But yeah, so I'm very sorry for the circumstances under which you started doing that, and I can fully sympathise. Okay, so I don't know if it's showing up there clearly enough, but that there is floating. That one's not far off. So I'm going to replace most of this sort of area. Definitely that one. See if it comes up. This definitely needs some rework. So does that one there. And if we're lucky, we might get that back to life. I just want to see what that resistor is for. Being a resistor, it's probably important. What is this? This would be a 239 probably, or 239 or 238. I think 238. Have a look at the board, Paul. That will tell you. Don't guess it. Discover it. A 923. Goddamn Apple and their very similar named boards. Jerks. Of course, the 923 is the 239. Okay. And the resistor in question here is UPCTA UART. Not sure if that's one that will actually stop it, but... And that's a 1 meg pull down. Well, if it's disconnected, then it's quite possible this would keep being triggered, because a 1 meg pull down is not a very strong pull down. So if that is disconnected, that means this input line would have a very high tendency to float high. In other words, it's got a high impedance, so it picks up any noise very quickly. Mind you, if they're using 1 meg, maybe it doesn't. Anyway, the point is, it shouldn't be floating. Nuts and Proud, that's really good that you're doing that, and like I said, we're trying to do our bit here as well, and I hope plenty of other people, well, I know plenty of other people are trying to do their bit too, because quite frankly, there's enough sad stories out there that we really need to try and make a better world. I do wish though that we had more management of desexing and things. I don't know what to do about it. But yeah, right now people can just, they lose an animal, they think it's like a piece of property or something, a cup or a plate or maybe a TV, and they just sort of go, oh well, get another one. Or if it's their kid's cat, so to speak, they're like, well, we'll just get you another one tomorrow, it's okay. And then they don't desex them or anything, and it just, the problem is tremendously problematic. Yeah, that wasn't sitting on at all, that was just floating. Like I said, we dealt with the 9 kittens that were from Christmas, and we're probably going to have to deal with, well, I hope not that many, but it's certainly going to be at least 6 most likely, based on how fat she is. Yeah, it's going to be heartbreaking for us, of course. It's hard. You put so much into looking after them, you get attached to them. Now, we obviously can't take any more for ourselves. The council would hate us. Sorry, I'm just trying to focus on this. Hey, Carrot Dog. Yeah, nuts and prayers, that'd be nice if, I don't expect our local vets to do that, but we definitely need to get to the point where people basically cannot buy, particularly cats, maybe dogs not so much, but definitely cats, that you can't buy them unless they're desexed, or you've got very specific reasons for not, for having them not desexed. Either that, or when you buy them, you got to pay a certain amount of money up front that will go towards, well, that will cover the cost of desexing, and then you have to, you just take the animal into the clinic and get it desexed at no charge, at no post charge, as in you've already paid for it in advance. And if you don't use that, well, that's going to be your own silly fault. Because I know we like to I know we like to claim that we should have the choice and responsibility of looking after these things. We treat us like adults, they say. The trouble is, when you treat people like adults, most of the time they fail like toddlers. Okay, we've got a real problem here, that veer, there's a veer in there, and it's disconnected. Yeah, that's not going to be fun. It's really not going to be fun. Yeah, Carrot, I don't think there are many adults in this world. I know I'm not one of them. For other reasons. I think about the things that my father did as a worker, as an adult. He built mines and massive buildings and housing complexes. He managed them. All sorts of impressive stuff. What do? I sit around and type in code and then pretend to fix MacBooks. I can at least ride motorbikes, no problem. I mean, I've always been a motorbike rider, and I can fix cars, and I can build buildings if I have to. I won't do a good job as a properly trained person, but I can still do it. I just choose not to. I think the modern equivalent would be something like designing, being involved in the manufacturing of a new laptop or something like that. I don't know, I just feel a little bit sort of not quite living up to what I could at times. To be fair, I feel like I had the intentions, but then life does have a tendency, for many people in fact, you can very easily get caught out. Just one thing goes wrong in life and then, well, there goes all those prospects. And that sort of happened on my side. Okay, yeah, so we've got, I don't know how I'm going to get a hold of that video. I'll have to see where else it pops up, because that is gone. That is gone, gone, gone. There is no recovery of that one, at least that I can think of immediately. Gone ski. Oh, thank you, Nuts and Proud. Keith, I actually like that saying. Alright, so I've got to find out if this line pops up anywhere else, and I'm going to pretty much bet a few things that it's not. Because it's one of those lines that basically just goes straight in underneath. Yeah. Okay, there is a small amount of hope here. Anthony McGregor, £10. Been a while since I caught a stream, so I thought I'd give a super chat as support. Well, thank you very much for that, Anthony. I'll definitely go to cat food. Yes, Pedro, I am a feline whisperer. I'm going to use your wording. Okay, so what we can do here is we've lost it at this point, but because we've only lost the connection here, and we've got an exposure over here, and this is not actually used, this is just a bare test pads. So what we're going to do is we'll put a 1 meg resistor between this point and that point. So yeah, that there is the same point that has gone skied over here. So we're not going to bother putting a resistor back there. Instead, we're going to put it across here. And I'll just double check the diode mode on that. It should be about right. Need a cat persona. What is a persona? Sorry, I'm not up for the latest lingo. 7.3, so that's pretty good. Yeah, 7.3 is good because if you look at the schematics, it's a 7.5 line, so that's pretty much, that's on the mark. So what it means is that this line is connected. We don't have to worry about the other spot. Hey Tom. Tom, really sorry to hear that. How old was 13? Oh man. That's pretty good going for a Labrador. I know you don't really want to hear that right now. I'm going to assume, of course, you were there along with other people, or were you away at work? It's worse. It's easier initially, on first thought, to not be there, but it's harder later on. So I'm sorry to hear that, Tom. Hopefully you can put your mind on other things. Although it's hard getting to sleep. Yeah, that's always hard. Especially when you've got to be the one that makes the choice. We have a tendency of trying to defer the choice to the universe Man, I need a 0105 almost. But we can definitely, yeah, we can definitely understand that pain, big time. Hey Tony W. Stepdaughter took him to the vet, discussed it last night. Seemed, still rough, Tom, still rough. And that wasn't me trying to make a pun. Trying real hard here not to cook the CD3215s. Hey Jason, 20 bucks. Has this got to come off the invoice now? And Jim Allen, they, yeah, well, at least they can last a long time, but what sort of status, how's she feeling at the moment? We've got one getting up there in the years, and yeah, she's a cranky thing. Very cranky thing. We love her, but she's definitely a demented old lady type behaviour. Like she'll push you out of the way, she just does everything to frustrate you. It's a tip. Thank you. Okay, so we've got a 10 microfarad 63402 we need here. Anyway, so I've got to really pull some magic out and come up with another 10, 20,000, I think. I don't know where I'm going to pull that out from, but I'm going to be doing my best. Let's see, what's this? 2.235. We're getting the fence done, so that's the first step for the new enclosure system. And then we need to get better enclosures, ones that are actually weatherproof and have environmental controls, like air conditioning and heating. Basically we stick a reverse cycle system onto them. Now half the problem there is actually getting power out to that area. I mean, there are ways I can sort that out, but it's a big project. It's not a small undertaking, but we're happy to do it. I think the thing that burns us a lot is that we feel like we're forever playing catch up, like the situations arise before we're ready. And I suppose that's life for you, isn't it? Can I remortgage? No, I don't want to do that. It's not because I don't feel like it's worth it, but it's a case of, due to being a sole trader, I guess what I'm trying to do is make sure the house is paid off for outright. I mean, we've got about 90,000 to go. And once the house is paid for outright, I can consider another loan. At the moment, it's not a huge risk, but it's still a risk for me to take on additional debt. I need to eliminate the house debt, and then I can move on to new debt. I guess the reason why I'm hesitant is because I've come from a situation where there was a very bad debt situation. Like, I think I had it was close to $70,000, $80,000 worth of credit card debt that just sort of accumulated. And that was extremely hard to clear off. And I did it. It took a long time, but I did it. And so I never again want to take on unsecured debts, so to speak. And a house, at least you put the money into it, you for the most part get to keep that money. But for aspects like sheds and buildings and stuff like that, they don't really quite add in the same way. Like I said, I'm just being cautious because I've been burned severely before and I know how far it can set you back in life. GoFundMe for the cats. Well, what I'm basically doing for that is I've almost got the FlexBoard View software ready to roll, the new version 5. So when the version 5 hits, I'm really going to be pushing it hard. Alright, so we've fixed up that little area. Let's see if it's made any difference. B-Blood, I think the thing for me is, let's see, the house itself, you know, it has a value. Say like this place, say I could sell it for 200. Yep. So, looks like I've got to clear some space off the drive. Videos. Well, because my 4 terabyte drive just filled up. And okay, I just got 500 gigs back, so that's good. Right. Pedro. It's tasteful viewing experiences. Your drives, on the other hand, yes. Alright, let's see how we go. We don't even get 5 volts. Is that because of the shonky cable? Yes. Something not quite right with that one. Not quite right in the head. Tony, you're in the middle of some sort of natural disaster. Caradog, you know, I could do with a couple of those 18 terabytes. The biggest drive I've got in the house is... Okay, what the heck? That voltage it's showing there is not right. God damn it. One of those days. Yeah, the biggest drives I've got in this house are 8 terabyte units. I use them for my machine imaging. So a customer brings a machine in and it's got Windows problems or whatever. I image the drive before I start on it. Once it's imaged, then I lose that concern about, oh, if I do this, will I stuff this up or whatever. And instead, you know, I can just go all out. Load up CC Cleaner and say, do everything. I don't really do that. Alright, so we've got basically a weird 10-20 milliamp business going on here. I don't like that. Don't like that. Cyclone Gabrielle hit you. Oh, yes, sorry. You know, I was worried that one was going to hit us, but it decided it didn't like us Northern Queenslanders and ran off to tastier treats like you New Zealanders. Very sorry about that one. You can't blame us too much for it. Hey, Warren Stamps. What's this? Mr. Allen has sent me money. By the way, I think you sent US dollars, but thank you. Certainly, like I said, this is all going to be piling up and adding into everything. I don't know why. It might be because my account, I've notified that I accept all currencies. I don't have any conversions going on. I don't know. It might be that. It might not. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to go through and check. Checkity check. See what voltages are, mate. Okay, so get my zoom right. Get the right side of the board too, that would help quite a lot. So we're just going to see what sort of behavior we do have. But this is not the right side. No. I want the other side. U3100. There we go. Okay, well, I find that I don't mind having the 4 terabyte. It's pretty handy. I probably wouldn't put anything bigger. If I need bigger, I'll just swap it out with 3.3. So basically, as I click on this, you know, it just shows me where to poke the board. What have we got? 1.8. See, Pedro, how I managed to get it to prioritize the test point? I told you I'd work it out. Okay, everything's there. Okay, I need to change this because it's not 26 volts we're looking for, but rather 11 and 7. Okay, there's 11 and 7, 6.4. Okay, that's actually a smidge low. That's interesting. That one, yeah, it's a smidge low. It should be usually around about 7 mark. Make a note, mental note of that. Okay, now we're going to do the same for the top side, which will be U3200. Oh no, his creature. Oh jeez, he is a creature indeed. Creature of trouble. Oh yeah, it kind of helps if I change the port on the charge port too. Okay. Where was I? Just above those two. Okay, 5.15. Big fat cap on the bottom. 3.3. Test point on the side. 1.8. Another freaky test point. 1.8. Using test points, believe me, is so much easier. Okay, I think I'm just not... What's my probe doing? Okay, I don't know whether it's a probe or the test point. Okay, we'll find another location to test that. But that is just a bit weird. Fourth one in, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's that. That looks like it's resetting. Yeah, that looks like it's resetting. Just going to hold on to this. Where was that? Let's see. That's LBO. Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Let's see what else is resetting. Okay, is that... I can't tell if that's me slipping. Yeah, everything's sort of like going haywire there. Yeah, logic probe's not much use at that sort of slowness. Okay, if everything's going haywire, let's check the 5 volt, see if it's taking a jump. Yeah, 5 volts cycling as well. That's crazy. I definitely shouldn't be doing that. Oh wait, yeah, I can actually see it now. Surprised it doesn't yeah, there we go. Okay, one of those CD3215s is jacked up. Let's see if it does it now. Wow, what is going on here? It takes a dive periodically, so I don't know if I got a short somewhere. Maybe I'll check PP bus like a normal person should have originally. Well, it could be a combination of things. Could be a bad CD. PP bus seems okay. But yeah, if I had to guess, I would say I need to replace both those CD3215s. Except those were not the ones I was just playing with. These ones are. Okay, it's... It's always good to double check that my beat works. There might be a heat pulse signature, yes, that is possible. If it's a short as opposed to a protocol reset. The reason why I'm sort of thinking it's going to be... oh, for God's sake, Fry. I'm sort of focusing on it being the 3215 is on the fact that it has had rework and it is an underfilled chip. I was not really picking up shorts anywhere else. I mean, I'll throw the gym cam on and have a look anyway. But I don't know if I'm really expecting anything. Solder blob short on the left with the chip for the grey dot. I didn't see anything. You know how many chips there are? Oh, you mean with the white dot? It's a solder blob short. You better be right. If you're not right, you're going to be in trouble. Where's the solder blob short? Reveal to me where the blob short is. Yeah, almost midnight in Townsville. What do you mean zoom in? There's no you don't need to zoom in. You should be able to spot it from here. That's about the zoom I've been at. I can't see a solder blob short. Yeah, I have a feeling that they're talking about... if you're talking about that, no, that's intentional. That's intentional because we lost access to those pads when this little sucker disappeared on us. There we go. That's what I get for listening to people on YouTube. I'll never learn, do I? I'm just a sucker for everybody trying to be helpful. Okay, let's get some USB-C action going on here. I mean, some people I'll definitely not listen to, like Lewis, or actually, pretty much just Lewis, because I know he's always going to be trolling me. Hey, Dratev. Okie dokie. Let's plug it in and see if we get a win. So what we're going to be looking for is actually going to be pretty hard to pick out, because if it is a short, it's an extremely fast short. So yeah, it's going to be fun. And unfortunately my dark box is currently occupied with crap that I should have thrown out. What's this? Caradog have a never in the date BIOS event? What happened there? Sounds like my sort of hate for BIOS. Ugh, I hate it when it starts stuttering. Did you just run out of battery? You just ran out of battery. Son of a goddamn bastard. God. Alright, I just ran out of battery. So annoying. It's annoying because surely they could have just put that little bit of extra electronics into this thing to allow it to charge from the USB-C port. Now it's probably it's probably a stipulation or something like thou shalt not utilize power through the USB-C port of a phone. Who knows? All I know is it stuffed everything up. Let's see. It's the cooking pad, it's shorter, okay. Yeah. Does your ultrasonic cleaner have quite a strong nasty smell even when it's not in use? Yeah, it is initially, depending on what cleaning agent you use, but yeah, initially it's quite unpleasant. It's a little bit corrosive to the sinuses and things like that, so yeah. And it's obviously significantly worse when you use it. But yeah, if I had to guess, I'm going to say it's the 3215s at fault based on the amount of activity there. Yeah, well, I'll dive in. I've got to put these at a slight angle, otherwise I don't feel sufficiently comfortable when I'm working. And I'm really not a fan of this particular one. Actually, I might take it from the bottom corner there. Some of the CD3215s have its orientation that makes it pretty easy for you to get into, but that one doesn't. Okay, I've got the Reaper. So we just help the removal of the chip by taking away the underfill a little bit. You obviously can't get a lot of it away, but breaking the seal on it does seem to help with getting the chip to lift up. Don't put too much pressure on the top, because otherwise you will cut into the copper tracks, and that's definitely not something you want to happen. So just enough to sort of get that underfill away a little bit, but not actually decimate the tracks. Obviously you can't really get into there. Now to get my proper flippy. Where's my flippy? Flippy. Ah, there you are. Hiding. Temperatures, well, we're starting out with just 230 to get rid of the underfill, or cut into it. Obviously I've got to be careful because we do have a NAND here. I'll just sort of gently return that to its original state. I will put a small pointless shield there, and then we're going to jump up to 360 in about, I think, 60% here or something, and we're going to use this flippy tool, which has a intentional bend on the underside there. Now we're probably going to lose these resistors. That's not a problem. Actually, this one's been a tougho. Oh, actually, that one's not popping. Normally by now they would have popped off for me. So I'm just going to push the temperature up a little bit, not a lot. Okay, yeah, that'll do. Could be because I've got that shield there. She ain't coming up. I gotta be careful because I don't want to end up having to reball that. Yeah, it has moved, but normally once it starts moving like that, it should be a very sort of clean, quick pop thereafter. This one is not doing that. See how it's jammed in somewhere? Something very bad's happened under here. Well, at least everything looks intact, but yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. That should have definitely come off. I mean, yeah, it's off, but I'm not happy with the way it went. There was too much force, and the heat was on it for too long. Yeah, just the way it was sticking there was very weird. I cannot straight away get in with the wick. Need to pick away a fair bit of this stuff first. I'm actually going to have to use the Reaper for this. I don't normally. I've got to be pretty damn careful because I don't know what sort of stress those pads have taken. There's going to be a few NCs, that's to be expected, because 2 or 3 for this one. This is a right royal. Whatever they've used for this one, they did a really good job of actually bonding it down. They made like a perfect seal. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this, it's just more, I'm just picking around. It's not trying to break up a concrete foundation. Yeah, that's some seriously gnarly. Gnarly indeed. Alright, at this point we can use the wick technique. Actually, I'll see if the hockey puck will get rid of it first. Yeah, that was a toothbrush just to flick off the stuff. I'm not the greatest fan of the hockey puck. I should really say the hockey stick because the puck's round. Yeah, the hockey stick. It has a tendency, because you focus on one area, but the blade it contacts a much bigger area. And so you're thinking, your brain's sort of going, oh yeah, we're clearing away this area, but you're not realizing you're also probably putting pressure on some other pad somewhere. And so you can easily cause more damage than you want. It's good as a finishing tool. I don't find it as good as a general remove, yeah, for the starting situations. Yeah, so we're going to use the wick. One of the few times I actually choose to use wick with the soldering iron. I know, it's quite rare. Patience, people, patience. I am getting to that stage. Hey, Oz Electronics. Wow, this is really not going right. I'm just going to redo it with leaded solder. Looks like I'm going to have to do some UV cleanup. Still pretty messy down there. It actually might be at the point now where I can use the blade. Geez, that's ugly. Well, the strange thing is, normally I don't have this much trouble with this area. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's the night, maybe it's the fact I've got air conditioning running in the room a little bit higher than normal. It's working better this time. Still some blobs I'm not really getting. I've got the wrong angles here. Definitely not ideal, but not the worst. Interesting that none of the NCs actually came up. Normally you'll definitely lift those NCs, but this time it didn't. Oh well. Take a blessing where I can get it. Not that it matters, but it's more just a case of you fully expect the NCs to come up, and like I said, you don't worry about it. They don't actually serve any real purpose other than the fact that they do help if you get all, depending on the chip, but if you get all your NCs missing, it can then actually cause problems with the alignment when it reflows. But in this scenario, it's not really an issue. Okay, I'm just covering that up with flux because I've got to do the other side first. Hey, Service PC. Yay. Oh yeah, totally looking forward to this. Not. Flip. Okay, back to 230 as we go and we hack this thing out. Now you may be saying, but Paul, there's nothing wrong with this one, it's the other side. And it's like, yes, that's correct, it is the other side, but the trouble is, when you go through the process of removing these, it almost always, not always, but almost always, messes up the one on the other side. So you're sort of just better off getting rid of both of them at the same time. Because 80-90% of the time when you don't, you have to come back and do it anyway. And there's also the situation that it may be a case of you could have one CD3215 that might, I can't really think of the top of my head why, but could cause damage to the other CD3215. So if you don't do both, you may get a situation where your new one gets killed because the old one doesn't like it. It's like, you're not like the old one, I kill you. Oops, snagged on something there, I don't like that feeling. Getting snagged is not a good thing. Whether it be trying to clear the underfill or trying to go fishing in the riverside. Riversides, so many goddamn sinkers, lures, fishing lines, all sorts of stuff in those twigs by the side of the river. Really should never go swimming around that area. You'll most likely get tangled or hooked or die. Or a crocodile will get you. Yeah, creature is deliberately there. God damn it, does nobody watch my videos? It's intentional, creature. It's intentional. I'm gonna let your big brain try and work out why. Now I'm gonna hear, but I wasn't here. It's like, not my fault. Is that the name? Yeah, the ventriloquist doll dude. Yeah. Kill you! I knew I sounded vaguely familiar to myself. So that was more like how it should have been. It's like, I'm allowed to abuse creature. He put a lot of us through extreme torture for many years on chat. And so now it's our due time to return the favour. Which reminds me, I need to push a few ICs while they're reflowing. I should install some ISL 625.9s and then put too much solder on the center pad and then squish them out. Creature loves that stuff. He gets all googly over it. He's like, oh yeah, squeeze it some more. It's like, it's not a pimple. Vogons indeed at the driver's license, yes. Vogons are just sadly misunderstood. Hey Mr. Rob Brown, good morning to you. I started working on my script, by the way, Rob, for the server build side. It seems to be working, at least in the test environment, but you know how it is, going from the test environment to the real world. You know it's going to be several more days of stupid mistakes and getting caught out by your own anti-piracy features. That was hilarious that I spent the whole day chasing a mysterious bug and it turned out to be my own anti-piracy measures actually. Okay, there's an NC for you. Oh shit, no wonder that's been so easy. That was on the high temperature. Whoops. Yeah. Oh well, at least I was pointing it away from the nans. I gotta say, you know, at least with the anti-piracy feature, even though I was the code writer, I was like, what the heck's going on here? So I guess that's a good thing. Didn't expect myself to conduct my own Spanish Inquisition. Everybody distracts me, Rob. Okay, that's really ugly using the toothbrush like that. Truly, it's... See this greasy look? This is because I used IPA. That's how you know that that's what someone has done to the board. Because you just can't get that greasy look away very easily. It takes a lot more alcohol, a lot of wiping, and a lot of retries. Kind of sounds like... sounds like bathroom toilet activities, but anyway. Adrian Russell, yes, I am on a little bit late. Been a busy day, been coding, and I had these machines come in for Jason. Whoops, yeah, we just ate a cap. No problem. We'll just put... Oh, we got another one. No problem. How many more parts can Paul take out? It really is no problem that I gobbled those caps up. We just put them back with new ones. And since it's video recorded, I know exactly where they went. Or where they came from, rather. That's why it's important to have video recordings. And an audience. Hey GD. But certainly in the early years, yeah, I would have fretted picking up those caps and taking them for a little ride in the blob of solder, but now it's sort of like, yeah, you're a bunch of idiots. I'm talking about the caps and that resistor. Yeah, you just sort of go, don't sweat it. So when you've got a board view, videos, and an audience, nothing is missed. Yep, just mowing them down today, yeah. I am rather, aren't I? Geez, at this rate I'm going to be like Phil, Coder Phil. He's probably going to hear that and he's going to come after me now. He's going to be all like, what you say about me? And totally got the wrong accent there, but anyway. Some weird Mr. T cross then. Alright, so first exciting thing is, where did that resistor come from? Now, I would say it just simply had the solder taken away from its pad, so that's my guess. I'm going to check the board view. not even the right board. What have we got? CPU side, we're over here. Right, okay. And Mr. Daniels would be correct. And just to be double sure, we also do need to make sure it is actually there. And we don't have the words no stuff written anywhere. As opposed to the two beside it, the cap and a resistor, these should be listed as no stuff. Hilariously, they're not. Does that mean I ate a resistor as well? Did I eat a resistor? What about the cap? Have I even got the right? Yeah, I've got the right. Okay, now these are just... This is just outright lying, surely. Unless there really were 3 parts there. Hey, anyone want to go back and check if there were 3 parts there? I have a feeling there were. I have a feeling there were. That one definitely not, because you can see that pad there. That's a factory... That's factory solder, so yeah, that's up there. And I think I ate everything on here. So I'll get another board. Another 923 or 329. It doesn't actually matter on these ones. Yeah, we've got them all there. Yep, so we ate all those. Okay, no problem. I had a feeling we might have. Jeez, a soldering tip was a hungry hippo tonight. I'm going to take away that one there as well, because I don't know whether it actually was the one next to it. So yeah, we're going to take that away. Hungry hippo soldering tonight. I had another board here, so I just sort of cheated and had a look at them. Oh, sorry folks. Come on, it's late. You can't expect me to be competent. My idiocracy thrives at this time of night. That'll do. Yeah, it's been a bit drizzly over here. So rain, we've had quite a bit of rain this summer. Certainly more than normal. And it's been cool. We haven't had a single heat wave yet this summer, which believe me is quite miraculous in many ways. Come on, come on. Why are you so slow? It's the only downside when you try to be nice to your circuit boards and not cook them at 480. As they're responding kind by taking forever to solder. Stuff it, I'm not pulling focus on this one. Believe me, it's making me sicker than it is you. Yeah, I know it's not on properly, I don't care yet. When we put the third one down, I'll care, and I'll reflow them. Yeah, I'm actually kind of struggling to hold my hand steady at the moment. Definitely a big sign that I should be heading off to sleep, which means I'm going to head off to do more coding after this. Micro's had his shot, yeah. Hey Rodrigo, I had quite a few heat waves here in Arg. Where's Arg? Argentina? For me, Arg actually could be a couple of things. Argyle, here in Australia, Western Australia, northwest, and it's most certainly subjected to heat waves. It's the home of where the great Australian Argyle diamond mine is, where they pull out, or used to pull out, the pink diamonds. That's actually another project my father was working on. He was over there getting the mine set up, getting it rolling and started. He also did the Jabiru uranium mine up in Northern Territory, just down from Darwin. And he's done a few coal mines. There's plenty of gold mines, no shortage of gold mines out here. That's why I'm actually in Charters Towers indirectly, is because we did so many gold mines out here that my parents bought a house out here, and Ravenswood. And when I came back from South Africa, obviously didn't have any, because I've been gone for so long, I didn't have a home in Australia anymore, so I just bunkered out here in Charters Towers. First day I'm here and I bump into my wife, I bump into Alita. So that was a happy coincidence. Right, Argentina it is. Good job. Celsius it technically is, I believe. Alright, easy trick with the 3215s. That dot represents that corner there that's missing. So you're sort of substituting a dot for a dot. Yeah, brand new out of package. Yeah. It's kind of like in Faulty Towers when they're trying to give some posh kid a drink, and they say, "I would like some fresh orange juice." So he gives them the orange juice, and they go, "Is this freshly squeezed?" And he's like, "Well, it's freshly out of the bottle." It's like, good old Faulty. Hi, Francis. I wasn't 100% convinced that actually sat down, but Creature was watching, so I didn't want to touch it, give it a tap or anything. He might have got upset. Might have suffered an aneurysm. And I really don't want to be responsible for his death. Not that way, anyway. Look at this train wreck, eh? Ugh. Sickening just looking at it. Hey there, Paul F. Yeah, I saw they were looking at doing a remake of Faulty. Or I guess the case of, are they doing a remake or are they doing a continuation? Either would probably work, but I don't imagine, unless he's going to partake as a really crusty old person. Then again, he's the sort of person who could do that. Here we go, freshly out of the bottle, not squeezed. See, Jason, no, you're good, mate. You got your hands full over there. You gotta look after you. Probably good that you don't watch this. It could be terrifying. Yeah, I know you shouldn't over try to place these things, but sometimes sometimes you feel like you're just so far off the mark. You know, we don't talk about the Connie episode. Just like we don't mention the war. Yeah, that didn't really flow very nicely. I think there wasn't enough flux under there. I'm probably asking for trouble doing this. Shoot, that was... Hey creature, you're still alive? Yeah, it was scary. It was sort of like that far away from merging balls. I did tap it harder than I meant to because I was coming in at the wrong angle. You noticed I was sort of like coming in directly from the side rather than like from above and swinging it. So yeah, I did. And that is always the issue when you're trying to tap these things, is you can often not tap them right. What is going on here? It's like a... well, we've definitely got another fault going on somewhere. Like the fact that the connector just keeps breaking off. This is not going to be pleasant. I've got another board like this as well. Yeah, you're not wanting to play. And then of course, you know, you've just burned up $50 worth of CD3215s. I mean, they're not dead, probably, but... So what we can do... Ooh, not that. Yeah, I mean, I do need to take a rest. What we can do... No, that's the one I want. So I've got a 5 to 20 volt power sequence here, and it's U3200 based, so we'll just jump to that. So that one there. So that's what we're basically plugged into, and we're going to follow this through and see if we can find anything that's happening. Now there's going to be obviously some steps that were repeated from before, but best we still proceed with what it is suggesting. And naturally, of course, it's... Go back to quad display. Thank you. Well, first thing I'll do is get it in the right port. Okay, so we've got our 5 volts. Again, check out 3v3. Okay, something's really messing up. I really hope it's not those two ports as well. Alright, this is going to be a 4 CD3215 removal process. Okay, this is really driving me insane. Just going to put some cleaning agent in my cables. Okay, so that one cycles. That's 3200. What are you doing? Okay, 0.2, you're legit. Sounds kind of shorty, but it actually sounds more like it's not. Okay, so 5 volts definitely there. Okay, 5 volts. Does this one cycle though? Okay, so this one doesn't cycle, but the other one does. So 3200 is cycling, which means 3200 could be faulty. I'll check the other side. Sadly, often does happen that... Okay, I don't know what is going on, why we're getting this low voltage bollocks. It's like my... It's genuinely like my USB-C brick isn't working properly. Or there's a contact issue or something. Because the only time it really should be showing that stupid low voltage is if it's not seeing 20 volts coming in. I'm going to blame the designer of this contraption. At 0.26, that's, what is that? That's silliness. I don't believe it really is 0.26. Although it keeps telling me it is. Okay, I reckon it's UB300. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. No, I believe it now. I'm going to take that off. I reckon I botched that up when I gave it a tapo. No, I'd say when I gave it... Yeah, I just wasn't happy with how that sat down, and so I'm going to take it off. There's so many things about this whole area I'm not comfortable with. Like, even the MOSFET there, I think, has drifted off. Well, I'm not seeing any bridges. Pedro gave up. He had a hard night last night. He went out to a some sort of raver party or something, some musician raver party, and he discovered he's well past even the age of 50, and he's suffering and hurting for it now. He'll tell you he's not, but he is. Oh shit, he's here. Hi, Pedro. It's not very nice of you, Pedro, to be around here while I'm talking crap behind your back. But I'm becoming of you, actually. You should look into that. Maybe it's why people don't like you. Oh, they were just scamming practices. I don't know. It's something. Yeah, I know you say you love it, but deep down I know each night you've told me how you hug onto that pillow of yours, like that favourite anime character of yours. Yeah, I really can't see anything overly defective down there. I mean, don't get me wrong, these resistors look complete crap. But apart from that, I can't really see anything. Actually, I should check that pad for the debug line. Let's see, this one over here. Crikey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the middle. I just want to check the diode mode of the pad. Make sure we got that 0.7-ish. Yeah, we're good. Okay. That was the one that we had to put the resistor on. God damn it, I just bought 20 CD3215s and that was my last one. So the trouble is, when you use the CD3215s and then you say something goes wrong with it, you don't fix the problem or whatever, you're very disinclined to reuse it. Like, they're already being pulled once. You don't want to push your luck and take them off and try again. And also, you don't know if they're damaged or they're duds or whatever, because these aren't exactly, well, they're not exactly Apple approved. Yeah, these are all reballs. Yeah. Good luck to anyone who thinks that they're buying genuine originals. Oh my god. I'm just going to test this meter. I'm going to put my USB-C to Lightning adapter cable on. This one so you can charge. Something seriously wonky going on. Okay, so that's good. Charging my phone. my iPhone 7 Plus. Oh, Cecilia, that's going to be causing some fights there. I will respectfully step out of that one. Yeah, I'll pick that off. I'll let people decide what they want to decide. Okay, so here we go. This looks better. Come on, give me two. What are you're just sitting at 160 now? Really? You make me cry. This is why you should always put the retainer bracket on. But the trouble is, the moment you put the retainer bracket on is the moment you realise you've got to move it away to do something else. Alright, there is something really problematic with that area that we've been working on, because it should not be doing 170 milliamps like that. It shouldn't be doing it. So there's something wrong in that CD3200 area. Oh great, now you're doing one. Son of a... Weird, I keep thinking I'm seeing things out there. Alright, everybody's doing... And like I said, I've got another board that is doing the same sort of crap. And I have gone through so many 3215s, it's sending me broke. I think if you can't get it after the full first swap, you should just walk away. Yeah, 190, but then... Yeah. Okay, so it's top left on the CPU side. So it's this one here. So top left. I'm pretty sure that... What are we doing? Okay, so that's UB300. Oh, right. Wait, am I losing my mind? I thought 3200 was the one that I had problems with before, but UB300? Oh, I think I'm going to have to walk away from this for tonight. Because that's... I thought that was 3200, but that's UB300, and that's the one that's only giving us a very small amount of current. Although at least it's not cycling anymore. Times like this, I do strongly consider ultrasonicking it. Well, that resistor over there looks like it's actually not even attached. It's probably a lie. It's probably optical illusion. You've got to be careful of these optical illusions once flux is down. Yeah, that's attached. Yes, today is currently tomorrow. I wish. That was just me slipping. Wait, what? No, no, me slipping. Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm just slipping all over the place here. Definitely time for me to hang up, go do some quality programming instead. Yeah, well, such is life. There you have it. Wasn't a win yet. So this is always the fun part, though, when you're working on jobs that have already been worked on, is that you've got to try and you don't. Well, in this case, I didn't know what the problem was initially. Fortunately, you could see pretty quickly where the area of initial concern was, but yeah, I'll come at this tomorrow and try it with a fresh look. I'm fairly sure it's something to do with that area where that CD3215 is. So anyway, I'm out of here. You take care. I'll see you next time. Till then, catch you later.